Good morning, everybody. Jason Foss here from the Capricornia Chamber of Commerce, here as usual with Phil Henry. As some of you may be aware, I'm in the middle of towards the end of a massive road trip. I'm in Dubbo at the moment, of all places. Phil's old stomping ground.
Indeed.
So I'm a little bit out of the loop, so I'm relying on Phil to keep me up to date with what's going on. And, of course, he's just as out of the loop as he usually is, so what chance have we got?
Just sitting down here in my nuclear-proof basement here.
Excellent. We timed this really badly. Like, we've been in Dubbo a few days now, and the last few days we've had perfect winter's weather, like clear blue skies. It's been magic. I had a spot outside picked with this field behind me where we're staying to do this video, and, of course, what happens this morning? It rains. So I'm stuck in the annex.
Right. As long as you're dry, mate.
It's good for the grass and stuff.
That's very good for grass.
So what's been going on, Phil?
Well, probably the major one is that we had a visit from the Minister for Open Data, Customer Service, Small and Family Business, Steve Minnikin, a couple of weeks ago.
I missed that one, actually. Yes, yeah.
Oh, no. Quite big. So there were a couple of meetings, and one was down here in Yeppoon, and that was organised by our Capricorn Coast Subcommittee. So Grant Lynch and Ben Crowley and Talia Austin put all that together. We exceeded the number of registrations on the website, so there would have been about 50 people came to listen to Steve, okay. And really good roll-up. Freezing cold. That would have been
a bit of a tight squeeze.
Very well. We're in the alley part of the alley, so Ben's place there. And the winds straight from the South Pole was blowing straight up it, so to speak. So it was, but no, very well attended, and the Minister had quite a few things to say. And then later in the day, there was another similar meeting at Donna Kirkland's office in town. Actually, no, it wasn't. It was at the Heritage. There you go. Came to me eventually.
Fair enough. So, what happened there? What was the outcome of that?
Oh, well, look, that was good. He's very engaging. He goes around and talks to everybody who's there and has a bit of a message. But I was able to put a couple of questions to him at the session in Rockhampton. One, the usual one for Chambers of Commerce, and that's payroll tax, because there were a few little changes in the budget this year. So we were simply able to ask him, keep that on your radar. It's a very narrow, the numbers, I won't go into them here, but the numbers are such in the budget that there's not a lot of room to move on payroll tax. So it's why they can only keep having a bit of a bite at it. But it's certainly on their radar, and that was good. And the other one was procurement. And rather fortunately, he'd brought with him a bit of a booklet.
Excuse me for a minute. I should have put my phone into silent before we started. There we go. My shout, apparently. The phone rang during a meeting. Sorry to interrupt. Keep going.
That's all right. So, and I don't have a booklet here to show you, but it's available online. But there is actually, I've had to print it out, a page there all about what they're doing about procurement. Nothing immediately, but all things that they are committing to do. All with a view to making it easier for small businesses to get a bite in sort of supply chains for major projects and government, particularly government procurement, obviously. So there's a few there. So they're doing a few things. Measures to address the size and complexity of government procurement systems and processes, make it easier for small businesses to understand tender specifications and to simplify pre-qualification requirements. More comprehensive debriefing opportunities. That's really handy. The session that we ran earlier this year with Lang O'Rourke on Shoalwater Bay, that was useful.
It was really useful, wasn't it?
Yeah, it really was. Changes to obligations at the tender phase of procurement to only require small businesses to gain required insurances after they get a contract. So not having to output in the hope that they get one. Engagement with larger businesses to promote small business-friendly practices. So that's just a bit of a sample. So that's all looking pretty positive, I must say.
Okay. So on the topic of red tape, Phil, there was a bit of announcement regarding the Small Business Commissioner.
Yeah, this has probably been out for a couple of months, Jason, but it's worth referring to because, once again, Steve Minnikin referred to it every time he spoke. He was here the other week. and that is that the government has appointed the Small Business Commissioner, Dominique Lamb, to be the contact point for any instances of red tape that small businesses find are annoying them or stopping them growing or just getting in the way of running a successful business. So as we know, and this sort of started around about the beginning of COVID, the Small Business Commissioner has a particular role in negotiating problems with landlords, so landlord-tenant disputes, and that's still going on. And as she says here, proud to say we resolve 71% of landlord-tenant matters in an average of 35 days for a cost of around $185. Compared to up to 86 weeks and around 130,000 through QCAT or a court. So that sort of role has now been formalised to expand out to anything to do with small business.
Hopefully they've given us some more staff, because I think they were a pretty small team 12, 18 months ago, I think, like 10 and half a dozen people there or something like that, if that.
All right. Hand on heart. I haven't checked that statistic.
Hopefully they've given us some more stuff.
Yeah, no, I get the feeling they may have. So, yeah, indeed.
Grown the team. But anyway, all right, so that's some good news.
That's just worth remembering that Small Business Commissioner Dominique Lamb is probably a very good first point of call if you've got problems along these lines.
Something that's been bubbling along for us under the radar a little bit for a few months now, or maybe longer, is our infrastructure hit list, Phil. You've got a bit of an update there?
Yeah, so we had an informal meeting of the Central Queensland Industry Collaborative, as we are, and all our meetings are informal because we're not incorporated or anything like that. But we did have, or we still do have, that list of 50 major projects that need the next stage, as we've been trying to do for a little while, is get that updated and try and refine it a bit. I did have a meeting since you've been away with a couple of guys from the Northern Australia Infrastructure Facility. I was able to put that list in front of them. Most of the ones on that list are a little bit small for NAIF to look at, but there are a couple there that sort of piqued their interest a little bit, so they're aware of that process. But I was also able to leave that list with Minister Minnikin as well, and with a commitment on our part that we'll keep him updated through our local members or whenever he visits here again about what we're doing about prioritising that list. I'm getting a bit croaky here. I need a glass of water.
Time for a glass of water?
I'd have to go upstairs and get one.
Back soon.
Keep that one free.
We about run through our hit list this morning, Phil, do you reckon? Have we missed anything?
Oh, I thought that was pretty comprehensive and without too much of the usual shenanigans that we... you've cut all the shenanigans out, so...
Yeah, I was going to say, we've been recording for I don't know how long here, and the actual bit that I publish will be about half that long, probably. Such is the way these conversations go a lot of the time.
It is indeed.
Look, squirrel.
Yes. Well, you're more likely to see one where you are than I am, so...
Yes. Well, we didn't see any squirrels yesterday, but we did see some lemurs and
a
few other interesting animals. Yeah, Western Plains is definitely worth a visit if you're down this way.
No, it's great. It is.
Right, we'll wrap it up there, I reckon.
All right. So, have you actually?
How are we going to wrap it up? Oh, I don't know. Maybe we should figure that out before we record.
So. Is it goodbye from you, Jason?
It is farewell from me.
That's the traveller's version.
I've started spamming the works there, haven't I? I think we need to quit while we're behind. What do you reckon?
I think so. See you, everyone.
Until next time. Oh, dear. Where was that supposed to be going?
I've got no idea.